Hello, my name is Petros Theodorou. I am a psychotherapist and I live in Thessaloniki, Greece. I'm also a member of EAGT, the European Association for Gestalt Therapy, a trainer and an accredited supervisor. In the past, I have cooperated many times with great joy with the Integrative Training Gestalt Institute of St. Petersburg. I'm coming virtually again in St. Petersburg through the screens in this pandemic period for a series of webinars. Uh, we will adjust to the online possibilities of our times. The theme of these three webinars is about the shadow. The shadow is one of my beloved concepts. I work also with eros, relationships of eros, love, and sexual desire. But the concept of the shadow underlies all these other three orientations of my interests. I'm also an author, and I have written 3 books. 2 of them are already translated in English, and one of them is about the shadow. The term shadow is a very beautiful metaphor about our aspects of self that are isolated in our non-conscious parts. They are inaccessible to our minds, and they are immobilized and strictly and strongly isolated from consciousness, but they still affect our decisions, our orientations and steps in life. Because in life, we walk as wholes, as whole beings. For example, if I have a problem with my foot and I go to drink water, I cannot leave my foot in this room and go without my foot to drink water. So we carry our shadows anyway. The term was coined by Carl Jung, we all know it. However, I have worked much on this term, and I have developed it according to my own perceptions and interests. I have enriched very much this term, and I have done also a lot of workshops on this idea of the shadow, and I try to connect it with a lot of ideas that are in humanistic approaches and also in the underlying in the theory and philosophy of Gestalt therapy. Examples of these concepts are, let's say, experiences that are not closed, past experiences. They are called unfinished business. When I mean closed, I mean they have fulfilled their course. They are still active silently stored in our non-conscious parts, in our shadow actually. Then we've got the very interesting approach to change in the part of the webinar that will talk about what to do with our shadows finally. And this is the paradox theory of change. We'll speak about creative adjustments in life, how to connect with the energy of our shadow, because it's impossible to read, to understand mentally our shadows. And of course, I use much the ideas around a perception of the self, which is called the relational self. Also, I connect the idea of the shadow with holism, with systems theory from physics, the term self-organization from its fascinating idea in systems theory, and also a lot of information about our neurobiological construction and functioning. It's recent information about this. I find totally fascinating, this new field of research and theorizing, and also about the processes through which we synthesize our experiences. of course, and how the shadow participates silently in all these processes. This is why in my book I call it the shadow, the silent companion in our journey in life. So the whole idea of these workshops is structured in 3 parts, and each one will be worked in one webinar. I'm very enthusiastic about it. I'm looking forward to start this project with the Integrative Training Gestalt Institute, and I hope that we'll manage our ways through our necessary in our days online creative adjustments.